My name is John, and I live in a small apartment in New York City. This story happened to me last year, a night I will never forget. I usually work late into the night, and this particular night was no different. It was almost 2 a.m. when I closed my laptop and started getting ready for bed. My apartment was on the 4th floor, and the city lights were clearly visible from my window. I went to the window and lost myself in the view for a while. Suddenly, I felt as if someone called my name. The voice was very faint, so much so that I thought it might be my imagination. I closed the window and lay down on my bed. I hadn't fallen asleep yet when I heard the same voice again. This time the voice was a little louder, and I was convinced it wasn't my imagination. The voice was coming from inside my apartment, but I couldn't figure out where. I got scared because I was alone in the apartment. I gathered my courage and got out of bed. I searched every room, the kitchen, the bathroom, but there was no one. When I came back to my bedroom, I felt as if someone was standing behind me. I turned around, but there was no one there. My hair stood on end. I thought maybe I was tired and that's why I was experiencing such things. I lay down on the bed again, but this time sleep was miles away from my eyes. Then I heard a scratching sound coming from under my bed. The sound was so clear that I couldn't ignore it. My courage gave out. I closed my eyes and wrapped myself in the blanket. I prayed for it all to end soon. After a while, the sound stopped. I slowly opened my eyes and saw that everything in the room was normal. I couldn't sleep all night, and as soon as morning came, I went to my friend's house. I told him the whole story, but he just laughed and said it was all my imagination. The next day, I returned to my apartment, and everything was fine. I thought maybe it really was all my imagination. But that night, when I lay down to sleep, I heard the same scratching sound again. This time the sound wasn't coming from under the bed, but from near my pillow. I quickly picked up my pillow, and underneath it was an old, rusty knife. I didn't remember how that knife got there. I left that apartment that very night, and to this day, I haven't been able to forget that incident. I don't know what it was, but that night was the most terrifying night of my life.